Logan Lucky, directed by Steven Soderbergh, stars Channing Tatum, Adam Driver, and Daniel Craig. It's about a heist. A NASCAR heist. NASCAR. America. Don't worry, I'm not going to do the whole review like that. Even though I'm tempted. This film, as I said, is directed by Steven Soderbergh. He's returning from a 4-year supposed retirement. After Behind the Candelabra, he said, you know what, I'm not going to make movies anymore. And he stuck with TV for a while, but now he's back making a feature film, which is something I'm pretty excited about because I've always really appreciated his way of directing movies. He makes films that sometimes feel like they could be a big studio movie based off of their plot, but he approaches them from an auteur perspective. He makes art films. The most mainstream he's ever gotten was the first Ocean's 11 film, and it is one of his best films, but he never let his art house roots detract from the fact that he was making a conventional heist movie. And his return to feature filmmaking here, I think, is really welcomed, but this movie isn't going to blow anyone away. I think it's a really well-directed film with gorgeous cinematography. As usual, his cinematographer is Peter Andrews, who's actually him. And this film is written by Rebecca Blunt, who I think might be him as well, because she has no credits. I have no proof of this, but it's definitely a pseudonym for sure. This film is a fun watch, but its biggest flaw for me was that it never emotionally invested me in the heist. There's no reason to feel motivated for them pulling off this heist. There's no Andy Garcia who's screwing George Clooney's wife. There's nothing to get angry about. Channing Tatum does lose his job, and you recognize that some of these people really need money, but beyond that, you don't really care that much on whether or not they get away with it or not. But what saved this film for me was the immaculate cinematography. Soderbergh, again, has delivered a beautiful looking movie. Daniel Craig as Joe Bang, who is one of the best characters in the movie and a real scene stealer. And Adam Driver, who plays one of the brothers trying to pull this heist off, who's an Iraq war vet, who lost his arm, even though he constantly tells everyone that it was just his hand and forearm, which is like a big thing in this movie for him. The charisma from all the actors involved and the breezy look and feel of the movie really made it an enjoyable watch. It is, however, not this mind-blowing, hilarious comic masterpiece that some people are referring to it as. That's just my opinion, of course. But I think Ocean's 11 is far better, and those comparisons are bound to happen. I mean, even a character in this film refers to the heist they're trying to pull off as Ocean's 7-Eleven. So he knows, it's very tongue-in-cheek. He's not trying to make some big pretentious movie, while some who see this film might think that. This is Steven Soderbergh's most mainstream film in quite some time, and I think a lot of people will enjoy it, but some will go to it expecting more of a non-stop romp of hilarity, and that's not what this film is. What I think is actually most commendable about this film has nothing really to do about the movie itself, but the way in which they've chosen to distribute it. One of the biggest reasons Soderbergh walked away from directing was because he felt that Hollywood was taking the power away from filmmakers. So with his return, he has chosen to completely independently distribute this movie. This isn't being put in theaters by some big company. He's making a huge gamble. They kind of formed their own company and they're trying to distribute it to theaters, and hopefully people will go to see it, which could start a trend of filmmakers getting a little more power in Hollywood to make the films they want to watch, which I think is really awesome. All that being said, sometimes Soderbergh chooses to focus on smaller scenes or moments that are imperative for the heist to work, but they feel like they just make the pacing drag, a child beauty pageant, or someone's inability to drive stick or an automatic car. And these things need to be in the script for certain things to eventually come through flashback form later, and you're like clicking off things in your head, oh, I see why they had that in there. But when you're watching the movie, it can get a little boring sometimes, to be honest. Soderbergh has always had a hard time connecting with general audiences versus those who want to go see a film. Because a lot of people want to go to see a movie and they just want to see a movie. They want to be entertained. And then others, they want to go to see a film. They want to see something that's artful, that can have an impact on them beyond just 2 hours of entertainment and some good tasting popcorn. Soderbergh makes movies that have conventional movie plots, but the way he directs them are so much more artful than others, and sometimes that can clash with its audience. So I'm curious to see how audiences react to Logan Lucky, because critics seem to be really liking it. I enjoyed the film. It's not a mind-blowing masterpiece, as some critics have referred to it as, and I do not think it's better than Ocean's 11. But it's a fun movie with good performances and great cinematography. I'm going to give Logan Lucky a B-. Guys, thank you very much as always for watching. Look forward to more Stephen King reviews this weekend. I have some cool stuff planned. We've been working really hard on some fun shorts that we're going to include in those skits. And I got to film at the Ohio State Reformatory where they shot Shawshank Redemption. That place is haunted as hell. I'm serious. Like, weird things happened while we were there. We heard strange noises, lights went on and off. I even caught something on film that I'll include in the video that could have been a complete coincidence, but the timing was amazing. And I can't wait to share that with you guys in the next few weeks or so. It's still in editing. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.